A lot of this show is going to be concerning the Green Bay mother-loving Packers.
Oh,
But before we get into any of that, I just wanted to wish you, Brandon Perna, the happiest of frackin' birthdays.
wow.
Yes.
A freaking fracking one.
And if you curse the Packers, I will find you.
Hot take. I think the Packers are uncursable.
Wow. Baby. Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as GGPS. Oh, baby.
Wow.
We got a show. We got to break down last night's crazy, insane game, which left the Green Bay mother-loving Packers number one, not in just the division, not in just the NFC, but in the entire NFL. Mr. Krabs, they were number one. And it's Brandon Perna's birthday. And
weird how on my birthday, you were given a gift by your football team.
Yeah.
While my football team just continues to slowly eat parts of my soul every week. What did I get? Pat Shermer saying, sometimes offenses don't score in the first half.
Score in the first half. It just happens. Well, to be fair, the Broncos were winning for my birthday, September 16th. So
that's right.
We'll tip the tap.
That's true. Wow. Okay. Last night's game was exciting. There's a ton to digest there. We're going to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I'm going to... People were making me angry on Twitter last night. Angry on Twitter because I forget. And don't get me wrong, not everybody. There's always majority great people on Twitter. But I forget not everybody on Twitter actually understands the game of football. Oh my God. I have to defend Aaron Rodgers today, which seems stupid. Ooh, wow. Favorite Broncos fan from a loving Pats fan on your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Burnout.
From a Patriots fan.
Wow. Go Mac Jones. Go Mac Jones.
Well, Mac now you Jones praising Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem that good. If you just praise Mac Jones, come on, man. You can't dilute it like that. Can't dilute your praise.
I root for Mac. I root for the guys who come out of the combine and people are like, ooh, I don't know. That guy's, I don't know.
I like it. Yeah, Perna, let's talk about that internet. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, I wanted to say, you said don't curse the Packers. What am I going to do to curse your team, Tom? They're already cursed.
We're already dead.
That was the most impressive win by a team, I think, this season for 2021. Second, maybe, and I hate to say it, I think the Raiders win right after Gruden got fired. Very impressive win for that team. But what the Packers did on a short week, I mean, this is like, it's a tweet that's just being like recycled. Short week, all the injuries, going into Arizona, playing an undefeated team, and they walk out with the victory. No, Aaron Rodgers wasn't perfect, okay? But I tweeted, because we talked about this a week ago, you're like, you quietly brought Aaron Rodgers into the MVP conversation, right? Like, oh, what about Aaron Rodgers? I'm like, I always think of him as an MVP, but like, he's going to have to throw like 50 touchdowns for people to start thinking that. Or he goes in and beats an undefeated team without 3 of his top receiving weapons. So I tweeted, does this win put Rodgers back into the front of the MVP conversation? Thinking like most people would just be like, yes, yes, yes. The amount of people I got like, no, Rodgers didn't do anything. And then people were like, Tom Brady. So I did another tweet with Rodgers and like what he accomplished in this game in terms of who he was playing without. And I said at the very end, but please tell me more about Tom Brady, which invited more Tom Brady idiots and nice people too into my feed. But I don't understand how somebody could walk away from that football game and one, not be impressed with the Packers overall as a team, because it's not just Rodgers, right? We put too much on the quarterbacks when teams win and too much on them when they lose. Packers defense, that was the most impressive thing to me from Thursday night. Second, Rodgers managing a game where he had no advantages, none. But he got the most out of what he had with receiving. And the Packers run game stepped up when they needed it to. So, yeah, we can get into it more. I know you're just enjoying listening to me telling you how good your team looked last night, Tom, and you're going to agree with a lot of it. And they lose Bob Tunyon in the middle of the game after his biggest play.
Yep.
So thank you for showing me Aaron Rodgers' passing chart last night, everybody. Yeah, he did a lot of short passes, but he still walked away with 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Kyler Murray had 2 picks. One, obviously not really his fault, AJ Green's fault. We'll get into that. But before the game, the broadcast prefaced Kyler Murray is the front runner for MVP. And then what happened? He was outplayed by Aaron Rodgers when Kyler Murray had 90% of his weapons in the receiving game. He got one big play out of DeAndre Hopkins before Hopkins left with hamstring. But yeah, I'm impressed when a team gets a gritty win and the quarterback doesn't have, like, Aaron Rodgers' stat line has been Teddy Bridgewater's stat line on wins all season. So pardon me if I think 2 touchdowns and 184 yards in that game impressed me. That's it. On to you, Tom.
I was just soaking that all in.
Yeah.
I was just absorbing it. You know what? I'm actually going to get the bad out of the way first.
Okay.
So Bob Tunyon, you mentioned, injured. Matt LaFleur didn't reveal the extent of the injury, but was getting emotional during his press conference, said he felt sick for him. He was clutching his knee immediately. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but it looked good. Like it was bad. Kylan Hill is out for the season after taking a helmet to the knee on that kickoff. So, I mean, Kylan Hill, nice returner, has a lot of potential. So that's a blow.
Rookie corner. Does he play corner?
Kylan Hill?
Yeah.
No, he's a running back. He's like
running back. That's right.
He's our third string guy. He was drafted in the 7th round and was like making people go like, "Oh crap, like he's good." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's real good." So
Guillermo, the birthday love, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, a lot of birthday love, Brandon Perna. Very much deserved.
I appreciate it. I'm flattered.
So that was the bad. You look at the other bad. Off the muffed punt, wasted opportunities. They ran 3 straight passing plays from the goal line, didn't get in. So that was a problem. You know, the red zone offense play calling was not its greatest. And then, of course,
I can recognize that from a mile away.
Yeah, I know that. And then the defense, you know, I think that they are the stars of the show. You know, considering all of the people that were out, and that first half, they dominated. They dominated time of possession. The final stats was 37 minutes and 35 seconds Green Bay and 22 minutes 25 seconds Arizona. And I sounded like a broken record last night because all I said was you need long, sustained drives. That's it. Run the ball on them, long, sustained drives. Because Kyler Murray, and he showed it, they could score on you as quick as a hiccup. They could score on you very, very quickly.
Kyler Murray, to me, looks so much like Aaron Rodgers when he plays football. Like the way they escape pressure sometimes and then can just fling the ball. Like the way they can just put it anywhere. And even like before the game, they did the highlights of both Rodgers and Kyler's like Hail Marys.
Yeah.
And it was like identical how they spun out of pressure, rolled to the same side of the field, then hucked it down there. So like I want to shout out the Cardinals because they lost a tough game. A player I'm starting to really be impressed by with Arizona is one James Conner in the red zone.
Oh yeah.
Twice he burned the Packers.
Yep.
So you would think that second time around, maybe get a key on James Conner. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Balls are hanging low. I like to think of my birthday as 37 years ago was the last time I touched my mom's vagina. Does everybody else think about that on their birthday? Okay, good. Now, back to football. James Conner, red zone. He's got like 8 touchdowns this season, and I think 7 of them are in the red zone. AJ Dillon, yes, he did play well, and I think what Tom was just complaining about, maybe give AJ Dillon a couple more carries when you're close to the goal line, to the end zone there. Tom reeling. Is your comments like, why are you doing a show?
Yeah, my chat is just like, what?
Like, okay,
what?
we've given Perna a few passes, but this is too much.
This one, it's his birthday, so we're gonna give him the ultimate pass on this one.
I get to say whatever I want without repercussion on my birthday.
That's true. That's accurate. Now, yeah, I mean, listen, AJ Dillon, phenomenal last night, and they were just mentioning in the comments that that's a great comment.
Thank you.
They're mentioning in the comments that like Dillon, if he got even more opportunities, would have continued to look good. Aaron Jones through land, air, and sea was phenomenal last night. Get it to sea because it's the Red Sea. So it was this funny joke. But the Packers, for the most part, played really damn good football. You had Juwan Winfrey come and make some big catches there off the practice squad. And I know you know who Juwan Winfrey is. I know you know, Perna.
CU Buff, drafted by the Broncos. I think in the 7th or 6th round. And then they moved on from him because they got Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler,
but buddy,
all these guys. But I was happy to see him out there playing. Like,
who else
I kind of paid attention to. So,
big shout out to the Arizona Cardinals for Rasul Douglas, who we got off their practice squad and made the game-ending interception. A big shout out to him. But you know who another big shout out is to? Aaron Rodgers, not only for the meme face, which gave us a thumbnail, which is just amazing. David Bakhtiari throwing out all those memes. It was great. However, it was that scramble on 3rd down, and he didn't get into the end zone. He didn't get in, but he put his head down, and he's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to freaking try to score. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is in the MVP conversation. And you know what, Brandon Perna, if you'll give me some time and you'll give me a platform here,
go for it.
Tom wants to rant a little bit. He wants to rant.
I'll get the supers. You focus on your rant.
Okay. There was a lot of policing going on the Twitters this morning. Okay, I got a lot of Tom. You should relax, Tom. The Cardinals aren't even that good. Which is so weird to me.
What?
Because they were 7-0. 7-0. They dismantled the Rams. They beat the Titans. They kicked their ass week 1. And I got Bears fans in my mentions under my tweets going, oh, they're garbage. And of course, the fan favorite of the Chicago Bears franchise, bailed out by the refs again. Bailed out by the refs. What are you watching? I mean, I know your team is a dumpster fire because Justin Fields doesn't have 6 seconds to take a piss, let alone throw the football. I get it. There's nothing good going on in Chicago. But holy mackerel, you're going to sit there and you're going to say with a straight face that the Cardinals aren't a good football team or that the Packers lucked themselves into the victory. The Packers went in with nobody to catch the football. All right? And the defense dismantled, and they beat the only undefeated team left in freaking fracking football. And you're telling me to relax? Oh, or hold on, this gem. Oh, well, just wait till the playoffs in the NFC Championship game. Oh, Tom Brady's going to own you again. Shut the hell up. It ain't the playoffs. The Packers are number 1. I don't have to relax. I'm excited. I'm going to be a fan today because my team went in and had an amazing performance. After you saw those betting lines, the Packers were clear underdogs, and they got it freaking done. So no, Tom Grossi's not going to relax today. Tom Grossi is going to gloat a tiny bit, and Tom Grossi's going to sit here in happiness and jubilance and glee because his team played freaking fracking good football last night. Rant over. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, people forget in the NFC Championship game, Tom Brady threw 3 picks? He did not play better than Aaron Rodgers. It's a team game. All right. So I'll just say that. Second, if anybody were robbed by the refs, it was the Packers.
Oh.
They had an Aaron Jones touchdown that would have sealed the game called back off of subjective evidence, not conclusive. So we've seen a couple times this season where the refs have overturned plays without conclusive evidence, which they're not supposed to do. And the broadcast official via Fox was like, yeah, I probably thought it wasn't a touchdown, but I am surprised that they reversed that call because you couldn't see a clear shot of Aaron Jones not scoring there. It looked like maybe his butt was down before the ball crosses goal line. So, yes, touchdown taken away there. Also, Rodgers drove the offense down to the goal line, and it wasn't a game-winning drive because they already had the lead and because they didn't score. But that drive put the Cardinals on the one. They needed 99 yards to get back into it, and credit Arizona because they did. But the Packers had to take a delay a game there because also one of their new, I think it was it the tight end or I forget which player it was. Rodgers was trying to get him in the right spot because he wasn't, and they ran out of time.
Josiah DeGuara. Yeah, he lined up wrong. He was in motion. Yep.
Because they didn't get to practice all week with these guys. So, yes, Aaron Rodgers didn't throw a touchdown there because he was trying to get his players in the right place for the play, and they ran out of time. Also, Mercedes Lewis, one-handed catch in the end zone.
Oh, my God, what a catch from
touchdown
him.
That didn't happen because his feet are too big. He stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
That was a touchdown that should have been. And also, the very first defensive play for the Packers, Rashawn Gary makes an amazing play to sack Kyler Murray.
I know.
And just accidentally gets his hand on his face mask. So a couple of the Packers' best plays were negated by, penalty and being out of bounds. And both of those things were the right call. But my point was the Packers could have scored over 30 on Arizona without help. But it just didn't work out that way.
Okay, there's a couple things here. A little breaking news action. Zadarius Smith, currently on IR, tweeted out, just landed back in Green Bay. I can't wait to get back on the field with my bros. Someone underneath goes, how's the back? He says, I feel like a new man.
Whoa.
Woo! Let's go, baby. This hype train is leaving the station. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Packers, when they get to the playoffs, are going to be the most tested team, I feel like, in the NFC by that point.
Dude, and how healthy. Good God. How healthy. They're like Jair hopefully coming back. Zadarius, David Bakhtiari, Devontae Adams, Al Mazard, Josh Myers. Like, come on, baby. Like, come on. Yeah, I saw it. DeAndre Hopkins literally holding on to Eric Stokes' face mask as he runs into the end zone.
Yeah.
And people are like, that's a bad call. I'm like, he's literally running with him.
Yeah. Like, you can stiff arm, but if you grab it for a while, it's going to get flagged.
But there's one player that's not being talked about today.
AJ Green?
AJ Green, not turning around. Appreciate you. He was like the thing though, and they said that he didn't hear the check because he went in for a run block because that's what it was. If you watch that, he literally went to go block Rasul Douglas. So thank you, AJ Green. Appreciate you.
And credit Douglas for making that catch because it wasn't an easy catch. It could have just been an incompletion. So yeah, it wasn't like Douglas made this great defensive play in terms of like reading the coverage and doing the right thing there, but he bounced the ball to himself and caught it in the end zone. So it was really clutch. And yeah, I think AJ Green was catching way too much heat for that play. A miscommunication, key moment of the game. You can't have that. I don't know who you put it on, but maybe, AJ's just getting old, harder to hear. Like, it's Arizona that's where these old guys are going to retire. So no knock. And plus, AJ's coming out of Cincy. How many times were they in it at the end of the game? Like, that's new to him.
Let's go, Jay. No, there's another player we're not talking about, Brandon Perna. Now, as many of you know, as culture people. By the way, we got 2,300 people on here on a Friday. Let's freaking.
I think they're 90% from your channel.
I got 1,500. So yeah, we're rocking.
You're crushing it.
We're rocking. Listen, folks. Listen. Brandon Perna and I streamed last Thursday together, in which Brandon Perna was introduced to a concept. Because right before halftime, Perna said that he had to go to the bathroom. Said he had to pee. If you go back, and I clipped it. I clipped that son of a gun.
Oh.
I had to go bad. Right before the interception, I go, I'm going to pee for the D real quick. I run out. I pee. As soon as I get back to my seat, pick. So
the game winner?
It is the game winner.
Oh.
It is on film, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a Grossi member, I hate to pull a scooter and say in the chat, but you know those emotes, baby. P for the D works. It is efficient, and it won the Packers the game. And that's the bottom line.
Frickin' D.
Hell yeah. P for the frickin' D. Oh, it did it. It did.
I bet you could sell 1,000 of those shirts.
You know what? Here's the problem. Because the thing is, it can be misconstrued so easily.
Oh my God. Yes,
so easily.
Dude, here's an underrated thing about the Packers defense right now. Speaking of Ds, they're getting turnovers every game. I think the stat was like they've had 2 every game this season. So, and it wasn't just that they were getting pressure, that they were, outside of the touchdown runs they gave up, they were pretty good against Arizona in the run game. But the opportunities that they took away from Arizona and simultaneously give to Aaron Rodgers to do with, like a reason, Green Bay had small yardage in a win is because they had good field position to try and score some of those times, also including the muff punt too. But like if your defense can keep doing that, like the more opportunities you get Rodgers, the better it is. And I've watched a Broncos defense the last 2 seasons that has been pretty good, but lacks like the turnovers and the game-changing plays. And I would rather have a defense that maybe gives up a little more, but is more opportunistic. And the Packers are doing that. And Jair Alexander didn't play, right?
Oh, no. Kevin King was out. We were missing our two top corners. Yeah.
Come on.
You had a rookie on DeAndre Hopkins. Like,
how are you not impressed by that shit?
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but dang. Anyway. It was crazy, too, because, like, I like the Cardinals. Outside of this game, I'm going to root for Arizona because they're a perpetual underdog.
Yeah.
I want to see them do well. But I was surprised by how much I was pulling for the Packers in this game. And I like that about football. Sometimes, like, you go into a game, I always root for Rodgers. I started to love Rodgers when he beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. But, like, at the end of that game, when they got that pick, I was in bed with my wife, and I did I jumped in bed and screamed like, yeah. And I was like, oh God, yeah. Hope I didn't wake up the baby. And Jess was like, what happened? I was like, they sealed the game. Like I was excited for them, and you can't fake that. And like, I didn't expect myself to be rooting against Arizona, but man, I was pulling for the Packers because like I said, Arizona, the underdogs, but the Packers were the underdogs in this game based on their injuries. So, yeah, I'm just going to live vicariously through Tom. Also, Tom is another X factor for me because I want to see the Packers win for his channel, for his happiness, and for his success. So it's like I've got a rooting interest there. It's like when I'm not upset about a Chargers loss, I think about my buddy John Na, who texted me this morning, who I met in San Diego, one of the most loyal Chargers fans I know. So I root for guys that I know are super into their teams, even through the dark times. Even though, Tom, you haven't really had to live through the dark times.
Hey, I had 2 seasons that were bad. I had a couple seasons that were bad. And Aaron Rodgers rookie year, too. But neither here nor there. I mean, listen. First of all, I'm glad to hear that you're a Green Bay Packers fan. That's all I heard out of that. And that you are buying stock metaphorically, literally, and physically in the Green Bay Packers. All about it. Yeah, that was wholesome. And I do want to, I don't want it to seem like we're clickbait sports or anything. I want to answer this question, and I want an honest answer. do you think the Green Bay Packers are the best team in football right now?
They're close. I mean,
I don't think they are. I
was
do
gonna
not
say
think they are.
they're not in their current iteration, but if they get all their guys back,
Correct.
they might be.
Dude, they are going to potentially get 4 All-Pros back. Jair, Z, Bakhtiari, Devontae.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. That's wild. So I think right now, this is the definition of a gritty team. And if they can get these kinds of wins, like, this would have been a difficult game if the Packers were fully healthy, right? Like, it is wild. TBK with a hundo. Woo! I got 200 characters, but take my money, nerds. Yes. What do you know of the dark times? Listen, I had to watch the Bears and Vikings go further than me those 2 seasons. But a hundo, that's too pretty for the kiddies, baby. And by the way, again, I don't want to hype myself up too much, but how poetic right now is it? Kitty Goes Meow gets created, and look at the 2 top teams in the conferences, the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
If I'm cursing teams, Tom might be anointing teams.
Oh,
you
baby,
might have the anointing power.
Oh, yeah. We're anointing the sick right now. That's it. So, Tom Grossi's going to get you into heaven. That's what, oh, wow. We just steered really hard into cult territory, which, again, we are not for tax purposes, but, oh, hey, Tree. Yo, by the way, Tree, shout out to Tree. He was in the stream late last night. He stayed there the whole way through. Wow. We had like 8,000 people in there. It was freaking wild.
That's crazy.
It was great. But yeah, I think right now in their current iteration, they're not the best team in football. However, I think that they are one of the most battle tested. And I think that the potential for this team their ceiling is so high. Once they get those players back. Also, under Matt LaFleur, the Green Bay Packers are now 7-0 without Davante Adams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dang. Let me bring in that stat here.
Uncultured. You want to know how I got these scars?
I don't even know who the best team in football is. I think, like, the easy answers, you can say the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah. Easy would be, like, Buccaneers.
And they've had defensive pieces out, but, like, I think good teams can beat the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers got an easy schedule moving forward.
Yes.
I think you talk about the Bills there. I think you talk about maybe the Rams getting there.
Yep.
Bengals, you don't trust just because they're the Bengals, but they've got the best record in the AFC right now. So I really don't know who the best team in football is. Here's James Palmer.
Look at that.
Rodgers without his best receiver.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Like, and again, without 3 receivers, it's not just Davante Adams. Like, no Davante Adams, no Allen Lazard, no MBS.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I say, like, kick the wheels on Brandon Cooks. Why not? See what happens.
Let me watch Tom Brady play the Cardinals without Antonio Brown, without Mike Evans, we'll leave Chris Godwin in there. And Gronk has been hurt. So no Gronk, no Evans, no Antonio Brown. And then during the game, either Cameron Brate or OJ Howard goes down.
Yeah.
Let me see that game. Okay.
And their defense is still amazing. Like, their defense is still great. Like, they're going to be able to do well. I think what it's going to come down to at the end of the day is catching like that wave of health at the right time and remaining, because we have a late bye. I think it's week 13. We have a late bye this year. We got the Chiefs coming up. We got the Seahawks coming up. We got the Vikings coming up. And they might have, who knows?
Are you listing really bad teams the Packers got to play? I think the Vikings might be the best team there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to show up. It is an Arrowhead.
They might right their ship this week.
Listen, the next 4 games: Chiefs, Seahawks, Vikings, Rams.
Woo!
And then we have a bye, and then we finally have a bye.
If they can get
and it doesn't get easier too. I mean, you have the Bears that are going to be after that, but then listen to this: Ravens, December 19th, Christmas Day, they'll be healthy. The Browns, like they got some tough tests coming up, so it's going to be It's going to be something. It's going to be something. So we'll see. Packers, I just got frustrated, but Packers got a lot of haters out there today saying, they're overrated or they didn't really do anything it's all AJ Green's fault for the reason why the Packers won. Get out of here. Just get out of here. Nah. Hold on now.
All right. I mean, if you want to critique something, you would hope like your defense could get a stop in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. They intercepted the ball, but like stop them before the Cardinals got that close or kept him to like a field goal. But like it worked out. If they would have kept him in field goal range, that game probably goes into overtime.
Yep.
So,
and I don't want to go into overtime against the Cardinals. Please no. Please no. Thank you.
No.
Please no. Please no. Thank you. Yeah. No. We have bad juju there. Oh yeah. I made a bet with one of my mods that if the Packers win and the Vikings lose, he's got to change his name to Packers Man 28, and he's got to have an AJ Dillon profile pic. And I'm going to tag AJ Dillon in that and be like, he's your biggest fan.
Yes.
It's
AJ Dillon, you son of a bitch.
If you make my Bengals lose with your curse, dude, if they lose to the Jets, the curse is so real.
Oh my God.
Which, by the way, speaking of curses, people were tagging me last night and they're like, is this the delayed Arizona Cardinals curse? You saw it happen to the Raiders.
See, like if the curse can be delayed long enough, it will work every time because teams are going to lose, guys are going to get hurt. That's just the NFL. But the real, like, you want to keep an eye on whatever happened to Kyler Murray because he tweaked something at the end of the game.
Yeah.
JJ Watt did go down. He's done for the season. So that feels kind of cursy to me. But now the curse is out of my control. It's the spin wheel. So this weekend we'll be watching the Chargers. We'll be watching the Bengals. And we'll be hoping I didn't curse either of those teams at this moment in time.
We'll see. All right. I think we talked for a whole half hour about the Green Bay Packers. And it was beautiful. And I enjoyed it. So let's talk about week 8.
We got some games.
Just like week 7.
Like
week 7,
2 or 3 good games.
Kind of had a little bit of a weaker slate here. A couple games that I'm keeping an eye on that we could talk about. You got, of course, the Titans and Colts.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a real interesting game. Steven says that they're going to clinch the AFC South already on Sunday.
They could. It's like the Cowboys and the Titans are in the same situation.
That's it.
Said, I picked the Colts to win this game. It feels.
I understand.
It's kind of superstitious, but I think the Colts are getting better every week. I think Wentz is finding his rhythm there. And before, the season started, we're like, Colts, great defense, good offensive line, solid running game. It's going to be nice for Wentz. Those things are starting to come together. Nelson being back, huge for them. But my superstition is if I go all in on believing in the Titans, I'm just going to be let down.
I feel the exact same, like legitimately. I'm sitting there at predictions and I'm like, I'm going to pick the Titans to win and they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because the Titans, and this has happened for years, by the way, I always get, it's the Titans. I always get their games wrong. I'm like, oh, they're not going to win. And they blow teams out of the water. And then I go, okay, they win 2 games. I'm like, oh, they'll win this one. And then they lose.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I don't think I've gotten a Titan game correct this year.
This is what I'm going to say about this game. If the Titans win this game, it means the Colts are a good team. If they lose, it means the Colts are a bad team because the Titans are just losing to the worst teams. They lose to the Jets a few weeks ago, and then they beat the Bills. They beat the Chiefs. So Colts, you actually don't want to win this game.
And by the way, I'm sorry to talk about the Packers again, but Unculture's bringing up a good point. Winningest coach in the Super Bowl era. There was that tweet that came out today. First 40 games, LaFleur 33-7, beating out Chuck Knox at 32-8, George Seifert at 32-8, Matt LaFleur. By the way, why the hell is Matt LaFleur not in the conversation for Coach of the Year? Someone explain that to me.
Too handsome.
He is too handsome. That is accurate. But like someone actually sit me down and explain to me how he's not. Is it because they have Aaron Rodgers? Because this man came in and took the Packers to back-to-back NFC championship games, back-to-back 13-3 records, and now is able to do all of this
Whoa.
with all these injuries, how is he not in for Coach of the Year? He's not in that conversation.
Should be.
It's mind-blowing to me. I'm sorry. Mike McCarthy was pictured over Matt LaFleur. What? Like, come on now. Like, come on. Come on. Sorry.
That's all right. I think that's a fair argument.
It's ridiculous.
I think when coaches have a Hall of Fame quarterback, we just assume they're going to be good.
That's true.
But you still got to go out there and call the right game. If I want to critique LaFleur, it's maybe giving Rodgers a little too much say there in the red zone.
The red zone concerns me. I mean, again,
like,
how you're not running that ball
we got AJ Dillon. Let's get him the ball.
How you're not that just
let's get those thunder thighs the ball because they could
the
quad father
Quadzilla. Like let's go. Let's just I hope the Cardinals can see that replay 1,000 times, just like the Bills had to see the Hail Mary. Bills fans were going wild for the Packers last night. Let's just say that. But I'm sorry, I got us off track. Titans Colts, yes, I feel the same exact way because the Titans. I said this a few weeks ago. I was posting in the Titans subreddit too because of my predictions episode because I just said like their lack of consistency kills me. It just kills me. And I gave them lots of props. You and I did. We put them way high in the power rankings, right? It's just, I need to see the consistency now against like the Colts, a divisional team. And I agree. I think the Colts are slowly starting to figure it out. You know, Jonathan Taylor's, I said him in the predictions, I want to see more of Jonathan Taylor. And people were just like, what are you talking about? He's having a great year, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying the consistency in which they use him, I would like to see more of.
Yeah.
Because yes, he does have like great games, right? So the last 2 games, over 100 yards. But before that, you're looking at 56, 51, 64, 53. That's what I mean as I want to see the consistency there. The touchdowns, he's getting a lot more, right, in the receiving game. He's doing pretty good there. You know, he got one there. He got one, I think, against Baltimore, that was. And he's starting to finally get it going on the ground a little bit more. I want to see, like, this offense be around him. Like, he deserves to be a staple there with an offensive line. Carson Wentz, who's fine. I think he's doing well this year. I want to see Jonathan Taylor be, like, the staple.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point because I think the way you take the Titans out of the game, if you're the Colts, is you do what the Titans do to opposing teams, and then you run the ball on them. So right now, it's the Titans' defensive front that gave the Bills and the Chiefs problems. And the Bills and the Chiefs are 2 teams that are not shy to abandon the run because they can beat you so easily with the pass. And the Bills this season have been better at running the football. But, like, I think the Chiefs, they couldn't run it on Tennessee. The Bills struggled. So if the Colts commit to Jonathan Taylor and run the ball effectively, I think that's how you exploit the Titans' defense, which is, in my opinion, still their liability, even though they're playing better. And that's how you hang with Derrick Henry and the Titans' offense. And that's like the fun thing to watch. Like, how does the Colts' defense match up against that offense? And the Colts, a little hurt on their defensive side of the ball, so it'll be interesting. Wow.
Appreciate you, CK. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's going to be, I think that's going to be a really good game. I think, and it's what you said too. This is the chance for the Colts to be like, hey, we're not pushovers. Like, we can contend with them. So yeah, that's a fake tree, by the way. That's not the real urinating tree. He doesn't have the check mark. So a little sneaky trying to get a little publicity, buddy. I see you.
I was going to get mad at him, too, because he came in and said, hi, Tom, and just ignored me. So I was like,
not real tree. So,
okay. I've got a mod in there. I've got some other mods that come in and out.
That's it. We're rocking. So, yeah, Titans, Colts. Another one. I put it on there. Patriots, Chargers. I think, again, could be a sneaky good game. Chargers, they had 2 bye weeks in a row because they didn't show up against the Ravens. Then they had their actual bye week. And now going up against the Patriots, listen, people were hyping them to the moon because they beat the ever-living crap out of the Jets. And I was like, guys.
They're going to get slapped in the mouth this weekend.
Guys. Like, God. So you think the Chargers are going to steamroll them?
I think, yeah. Well, I say a decisive win for the Chargers.
Okay.
Here, let me tell you about the Patriots, kids.
Let me tell you.
And again, fan of Mac Jones, rooting for him. They lost to the Dolphins week 1. They beat the Jets week 2, lose to the Saints, lose to the Buccaneers, beat the Texans, lose to the Cowboys, beat the Jets again. 2 of their 3 wins were the Jets. 3 of their wins, Jets, Texans. So, like, if we are going to poo-poo on the Broncos when they started 3-0 against bad teams, the Patriots are the current poster boys for only beating crap teams right now. And the Chargers ain't a crap team. I think they're going to handle New England. I did see Austin Eckler miss practice yesterday, some sort of hip thing. So that's something to keep your eye on because I think he's really important to their offense. He is their run game, and without him, they become a little bit one-dimensional, even though that one dimension is very good.
Now, may I provide a counterpoint?
Yeah, the Patriots, actually, they didn't do a lot to me. The Broncos pretty good against them. Patriots worked the Broncos in the playoffs when they had Tim Tebow. Ooh, big deal. But other than that, we beat him with Plummer. We beat him with Manning. I just don't think they're as good as people think after last week.
No, I agree. I don't think they should be hyped up for it. I'm going to provide a counterpoint, though. They lost week 1 to the Dolphins by a point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Saints, that was a loss. Lost to the Bucs by only 2. They barely beat the Texans, so it kind of like washes itself out.
That balances out.
Yep. And the Cowboys, they took to OT. So, like, I'm going to say that I don't think they're a bad team. I think that their defense decides when it wants to show up, and Mac Jones is efficient. I think they lack talent on the offensive side, but if they're able to get that run game going against the Chargers and their defense is able to lock down Herbert, I think it'll be a lot closer of a game. I think the Patriots are like a year or 2 away. I think that, like, you get some talent, because that's what they need. They need some talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, somebody to actually throw the ball to. You need that talent there. And then I think that, they're cooking with gas. But I think it's going to be a good game because it seems that the Chargers have struggled against teams with adequate defenses. And the way that Herbert was locked down by the Ravens, and then the Ravens got their ass kicked by the Bengals, it's just the craziness of the NFL. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a closer game than some people anticipate.
Yeah, maybe. I disagree. I think the Chargers win by 10.
It's your birthday, so you're right. It's your birthday, so you're right.
Oh, yeah. Everything I do is correct today.
That's it. From an angry Panthers fan, happy birthday. Undo the curse.
Fat man,
Panthers fans are never going to forgive you, buddy. They're never going to forgive you.
Based on that alone, they are uncursed.
Oh.
I think the Panthers curse is tied to the Broncos, so trust me, I want that rectified. I want Sam Darnold, NFL rushing leader, to come back.
Yeah.
I want Christian McCaffrey, Colorado's own, to come back healthy and dominate. But I don't know when that's happening.
Yeah. I just, it is. All right. Next game that I had a little eye on here, and you put it in there, the Buccaneers and the Saints. Ooh. Packers, Raiders.
Birthday.
It's your birthday. You can do whatever you want, buddy. You hawk that phlegm right on out.
It's like I can't talk.
Yeah, it's all good. You put Buccaneers, Saints. I was like contemplating, I'm like, do the Saints actually show up like they did last year? They're a different team, but they're starting to get some pieces back. Do they actually put up a good fight against the Bucs?
Yes, I think they do. Look, the Saints they're like the Patriots in that when you say sometimes the Patriots, it depends on if the defense is going to show up. Yeah, Luke. I'm sorry, Luke. I would understand why Panthers fans really probably perturbed by Broncos fans. I get it. I wouldn't like Broncos fans if I was a Panthers fan. Trust me. Super Bowl 50, A lot of smack talking after that. Cam Newton, we beat the piss out of a couple times, and none of our players got flagged for some really bad hits on him. I get it. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Saints offense, big mystery. Lacking weapons. Jameis Winston not consistent.
Nope.
Jameis Winston not super effective when he can't take risks. Like he's like a weird safe QB now. That said, he could go off. They add Mark Ingram, which I think is it's so nice to see him back with Alvin Kamara.
Best friends.
I fell in love with watching those two guys run the ball on Sundays and then listen to them after games. And then Ingram goes to the Ravens, brought that same energy. It was fun. And I think if the Buccaneers are not the team to get the run game going against, but we've seen the last 2 weeks, the Bucs give up more yards than they were early in the season. So I do think Ingram can help them run the ball if he can even play this week. I should look into that. I think he can play. I like Kamara in the passing game for them. I think the Saints defense underrated. I think they can slow down Tampa Bay a little bit on offense, but they're going to need Jameis to have yards and touchdowns. If he doesn't have the yards and touchdowns, then it might be a blowout, but sneaky good game. Division. It's in New Orleans too, right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
The lack of consistency is what kills me. That's the big thing. Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate you, buddy.
Garrett. Abraham Lincoln with a gun?
Yeah, is Abraham Lincoln with a machine gun?
Love it.
There you go. Matthew says Packers, Cowboys, NFC Championship, maybe.
If I could go back in time and give Abraham Lincoln
during that play
machine gun like that, I would.
By the way, this is so bad. I went and saw, and we're totally getting away from football. I think the Saints might get rolled. I think they might get destroyed. But
there's a chance.
There's a chance. But this has nothing to do with anything. On Wednesday, I left the house for the first time in a week to not go to the vet, which was amazing. And I went and saw Dune in IMAX. And the amount of people that tagged you thinking that you were the leader of House Atreides, Oscar Isaac. And literally, I saw him, and the immediate thing I was like, I see it. I get it.
That's
hilarious. And I busted out laughing in the middle of the theater.
See, what's funny is because
he's a good looking dude too.
Said I look like him before. And usually any guy who has dark hair and a beard, they're like, is that you, Brandon? I get it. It's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Oscar Isaac, that's a good looking dude.
He's a good looking dude.
And I was watching Dune. And this was before people started tagging me saying I look like him. I was like, man, I wish I looked like Oscar Isaac. If I were actually as good looking as him, I would feel very confident about myself. But I watched Dune. My wife and I took an afternoon when we were both sick and just laid in bed and watched on HBO Max. And I listened to the book, half of it.
Oh, there you go.
And so I went in I'm going to get to see what happens after, because the book's long and
the book's very long.
If you're tired and you're trying to listen to it, it's confusing.
Yeah.
But the movie ends basically almost the exact spot I was in the book. I'm like, oh no, we got to wait for another one. And then they don't even know if they're going to make a second one. And then they confirm this week they're going to make the second one. But
I know we're gotten totally off track. I love that director. So, because he made Arrival, and it's one of my favorite movies. Sicario, love that movie.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049, love that movie. Prisoners, love that movie. He's just, he hits. So I'm so happy they made it, but I just couldn't stop laughing. It was that, and then when Oscar Isaac said I wanted to be a pilot, I just thought about him in Star Wars. And I was just like, Poe Dameron? But yeah, I just want to say that's a great compliment. Considering you get Oscar Isaac comparisons, and I was on IG Live yesterday, and they were like, he looks like Macaulay Culkin. I'm like, I haven't heard that since I was a kid. So yeah, no, I'm jealous of you getting those comparisons. So
yeah, no, that's a good one. The other guy is oh my god, Dave, Courtney Cox's old husband, Dave. Arquette. David Arquette.
I was like, he won the WCW championship.
Yeah, I get David Arquette, and that one I'm like, okay.
Okay. You're like, I don't need that one. I don't need
That's
that
the
comparison.
Macaulay Culkin for me.
Yeah, that's it. I look like a drugged out Macaulay Culkin. And then the last game, I think again could be a sneaky good game being played in Minnesota. Cowboys versus the Vikings.
Yeah, Cowboys Vikings might be all right.
Pats are 9-1 against the Chargers.
Is Dak going to play? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments said looking like he's not, but I don't think they're gonna. I'm guessing it'll be a game time decision. I guess how he practices today would be a big key there.
I mean, yeah. If Dak is not there, then I think the Vikings win. Because here's the thing. It's a win-win for me either way. I got to be honest. Because if the Cowboys win and they don't even have Dak, then it's just, oh my God, how pathetic are the Vikings? But if the Vikings win, one, they're no threat to the division right now. And two, that means that Scooter's one loss away from losing the bet. So it's a win-win for Tom Grossi. Either way, Tom Grossi's coming out on top. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'm curious to see because, as I've said, the Cowboys, they are allowing 24 points a game on defense. Their defense has improved, but people ain't talking about that stat. They can score a ton of points so that it's good. It kind of wipes that away. They can score a ton, so people are like, oh, okay, the defense is better, which it is. But 24 points, a lot of points. And let's see if the Vikings actually pull their head out of their asses and get Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and get Thielen going. It could be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, Vikings are not like a team I want to play if I've got an injury to my quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Minnesota's issue was defense, and I think their defense is starting to play better. I think they're getting more pressure on the quarterbacks. Danielle Hunter's playing well, right?
I love that dog in the profile picture. I mean, it's in a terrible jersey, but but Zimmer screwed up. Yeah, and the Vikings fans are like, we have no faith. I loved how Scooter came on and was just like, Cooper Rush is gonna get it done. Who?
Yeah, Cooper. Scooter's unwavering confidence in the Cowboys is probably my favorite thing about Scooter.
Yeah.
I used to be there as a Broncos fan, but that has slowly been chipped away.
And that's true, Patrick. That is true. But you allow teams like the Patriots to come back, that kind of stuff. That scares me. That. Yeah. And again, you have an offense that can score. Will they? That's a different question. But they can. They have the potential to do so. I think you might have a Sunday night football game that's pretty good. I want to see Gucci Danucci in the game if Dak isn't playing.
Gucci Danucci, baby.
I want him in. I want Gucci jersey. I want Gucci chains. I want Gucci cleats. Hold on. I want it.
But I mean, if Dallas has to start not Dak, Everson Griffin, Danielle Hunter are going to feast. Nobody's talking about them playing really well, in terms of getting pressures, and they are pressuring QBs. Eric Kendricks, linebacker, also playing well right now. Again, it's just about that Vikings secondary. Outside of your safety, Harrison Smith, they struggle. So the Cowboys with a healthy Dak could really just light up that secondary. That's what you're worried about as a Vikings fan. So we'll see.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Ryan's talking a whole lot of trash about the Packers, about how bad their defense is. They're the 23rd ranked offense. Dude, they are 9th in points allowed. Their defense is phenomenal this year. And they're missing people.
Thanks, Thomas.
They're 9th. Thank you, Thomas, for donating to Brandon Perna on his birthday. 9th. That's why. If you're just looking at offense, of course. But they have no weapons right now. But I'm sorry. It's a complete game. If there's two sides of the football, it's wild to me.
Let me NFL player. Let me do a little comparison for
and by the way, they're 16th in offense and points scored. They're not 23rd, so they're right in the middle of the pack. And again, that's without their major players. Just want to say. Want to say there. Just say.
Aaron Rodgers, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 105.7 QB rating. Right now, I've got a very bad offense with Teddy Bridgewater, 12 touchdowns, 5 picks. Teddy, safe. Teddy, not scoring enough points for the Broncos offense. And given he's got another play, but he's still going to trail Rodgers by a few touchdowns there.
Yeah.
And he's had, outside of Jerry Jeudy, they've had their players in there. Like, Rodgers is getting by with so little. And I don't think that's getting enough credit. Like, even Josh Allen right now, 15 touchdown passes. Dak Prescott, 16 touchdown passes. Aaron Rodgers is right there with those guys. Kyler Murray, 17 touchdown passes with 2 more interceptions than Rodgers. So it's, like Patrick Mahomes, 1 more touchdown, 18, but he's got 8 picks.
Got a lot of picks.
You can't just look at some of those box score stats and truly evaluate like what the team's doing.
Stats don't tell the whole story, folks. It's just, it never has, it never will. Like it don't matter. Like, again, and I said the Bills, like, look at the Bills. They were number 1 offense, number 1 defense. They got beat by the Titans. Like it's at the end of the day, like the Packers going in on a short week to beat an undefeated team with all those players lacking is impressive as hell. And I don't even think the Packers are the best team in football. However, get healthy, I think we're having a different conversation.
Yeah. And here's what's crazy. Aaron Rodgers has 5 40-plus yard plays, which is more than Tom Brady with all of his weapons. It's tied with Mahomes. They only trail Stafford, I think, who has 8 40-plus yard plays. Oh, Joe Burrow's got 8.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz has 7. Carson Wentz sneaking in there. Baker 6. Derek Carr 6. Roethlisberger somehow has 5, but so like he's doing it in different ways too.
Yeah.
But anyway,
listen, people going to say what they gotta say. They'll have their opinions. That's fine. The Green Bay Packers are a good football team. I think they're a great football team that is battle tested, and I can't wait to see what this team looks like in their final form when they're fully healthy. So, and if this season continues like this, that the Broncos need to die in order for the Packers to be reborn as a phoenix. That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Ray, that's a great point. That's a great point, Ray.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the undefeated Pats look pretty good. Yep. That's it.
Actually, Manning is Brady's father, Robert. I watched Brady beat Tom Brady in 2 AFC championship games. Brady got a losing record against the Manning brothers in the postseason. I think, I don't think that narrative's fully true.
Yeah, look at that. Chargers missed playoffs in 2010 with number 1 offense and number 1 defense.
Yeah. So football is great for the first 2 months. You start to learn who teams are, but you really don't know anything until December comes around. Yeah. Like the Steelers last year, a great example of that. 11-0. And then they start losing in December, and you're like, oh, God, this is not going to work out for Pittsburgh. And then they just got clapped in the wild card round by the Browns. So, like, for me, I will take – and, like, I won't even go all in on the Packers yet.
Yeah.
Until I see what happens in December. If they're still really injured in December, I'll be nervous for their playoff chances, even if they're kind of winning there. But it's like, give me whatever team is looking the best in December going into the playoffs. Like, I'm going to bet on those guys. So that, like, the Bills, the Chiefs could swing back in that conversation. The Bengals, if they're playing good in December, that'll say way more about them than them being in first place right now. NFC stacked with talent. Like, there's a lot of good teams.
It's going to be crazy playoffs. It's going to be absolutely. Casanova, by the way, thank you for the hundo, buddy.
Whoa, Casanova.
Casanova coming in, swinging for the fences with a little go, Pack, go. I do a little music here. Just a little. That's it.
And I don't even hate the Patriots anymore, FYI.
I don't even think about them.
Yeah,
5 teams set for the playoffs, 3-way battle for the last 2 spots: New Orleans, Atlanta, Minnesota. Listen, it's gonna be a very. Oh, Dylan, that's a good point. I accidentally clicked on yours. That's a great point. stats for a job. They're useless without context.
Yeah, you do need context.
They do. So,
and Tom and I say that because we're going to use stats to help our points probably next week.
Probably.
Yes. Be like, oh, look at this stat.
This little number here. Yeah. But I think I'm hoping there's some good games this week. But I think you're 100% right in terms of playoffs. Is that, listen, the Chiefs could beat the Packers. A week from Sunday, I think the Chiefs are going to be tough in Arrowhead. Maybe getting a little bounce back game against the Giants. It very well could happen. Because I think if the NFL has proven anything this year, when you have teams like the Bengals, right, that are doing that well and doing that crazy, like anything could happen. That's to you, Perna.
I know. Casanova double dipping. Wow.
That's it. Casanova, a big supporter of the GPS.
Oh,
appreciate you, buddy.
Casanova, you are a demand.
Appreciate you.
Buy myself a steak dinner for my birthday.
There you go.
The video if you like my birthday.
But the thing is like none of all this regular season stuff is great. None of this matters comes January. Yeah. None of it at all. It doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed. It doesn't matter if you're the 7 seed, because you saw the Packers. They were the 1 seed. Look what happened. Didn't get there. None of it matters until the playoffs. So the reason why I'm hyping them up so much is because this is not like, oh man, there you go, Josh. Appreciate you, buddy. Look at Obi-Wan. Look at the Obi-Wan profile pic. The thing is that the Packers are finding ways to win against good teams.
Yeah.
With almost nothing. And that is what I want to see, because that shows the character of a team. That shows that it's not like they're just beating up on bad teams. Nope.
The underrated thing that does as well is it helps your depth. So you've got guys getting game reps that probably wouldn't normally, and you're able to kind of figure out which guys you might be able to lean on in the playoffs if in a game somebody gets hurt, or certain situations where you're like, oh, we can game plan this guy into the game now because we know he can do X, Y, Z in the game. So it does a lot for you outside of just like the X factor of building your team chemistry and making your team tougher. Like, you're learning some guys can ball and play for you. And like, your defense is going to be, if they get healthy, you get Alexander back, you get Darius back, like, and
then Rasul Douglas. Like, that's a thing right now. Like, we're talking about our lack of corners. You get King and Jair Alexander back. You already have Eric Stokes, and now you have Rasul Douglas. That's 4 right there. Yeah. Sullivan, is having a good day with the secondary. Amos is obviously safety, but like they're playing well. Savage is doing all right. Like, there's depth there 100%, and guys are getting those chances. Dean Lowry has been playing real well over the past couple of weeks. Guys that, like, outside of Green Bay, like, they don't know who these people are. And I think, it's impressive. So,
here's, like, if you get a chance to talk to LaFleur, here's my note for him.
Okay.
Red zone, within the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
I want to see Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon in the backfield together. Like,
ooh,
part of the reason I think offenses that have great quarterbacks like Rodgers, like Brady, who you're just as effective throwing in those situations, bring in both of those guys. Because if you can make the defense guess which guy it might be going to, because you're worried about, like, oh, the defense knows we're going to run here, they can key in on the run. If they don't know which one of those guys the ball's going to, and that even includes keeping Aaron Jones as a passing threat there, get them both in the backfield. That's why you draft a guy like A.J. Dillon. Get them both back there.
I think that happened last night, by the way. I laughed at that.
Jim B, that's hilarious. I will not I'll take a half day, but I got work to do after this.
I think there was one play in the I formation. I think Jones was all the way back, and I think they handed it off to Dillon as a fullback. I'm pretty sure that happened. I think that happened last night. And
more of that in the red zone.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Especially when you're down all your receiving weapons. So
yeah, I'd say so. Let's see. Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh. Green Bay doesn't win the Super Bowl. Maybe a little biased. The Steelers are my team. Fair enough. Rams game on the 28th. Oh, dude. That game. Because that thing, the Packers won this game. That's huge for the standings. Huge. If they're able, If they're able to, like, again, if they're able to finish first, and able to get that bye, that's so critical. So, but Perna, we've gotten late. I don't want to keep you on your birthday day. I want you to go out. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to experience the life. I hope you have yourself a nice
Thank
day.
you, Tom. I hope your dog's doing better, Tom.
Thanks, buddy.
Thinking about you. I know she's getting a lot of love from you, a lot of attention, and that's a lot of work.
I bring her to the vet. I had to bring her to the vet earlier today. Got to bring her to the vet tomorrow, but we gonna get that puppy up in shape. We're gonna get her going.
This name makes me laugh every time.
Sludge fart.
Sludge fart. Thank you, sludge fart.
Hey, sludge fart.
Appreciate you. Dude, your Chiefs are fine. Like, they might not be good this season. They might not do a lot this season, but they're gonna be all right with Mahomes, with Reed. They'll fix some problems.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow.
Maybe not. And they might be good by the end of the season. Anyway, appreciate the birthday love. You guys are too kind. You have been navigated. I am Brandon Perna doing the close. That's Tom Grossi. Tom, you got anything to say before I do hit the end button?
Go, Pack, go.